Excellency Prime Minister Trudeau, distinguished guests, good morning. It is a great pleasure and honor for us to have Prime Minister Trudeau to visit Sina. On behalf of Sina, I would like to extend my warmest welcome to our friends across the Pacific. We are very excited about Mr. Trudeau's visit, not only because he's the Prime Minister of Canada, but also he's a popular internet influencer on Sina Weibo, with more than 100,000 followers. There is no doubt that Prime Minister Trudeau is one of the most popular foreign leaders on Weibo right now. Many will say that he earned his popularity due to his charm and charisma, but I would argue that his hardworking and his deep understanding of social media probably played a much important role in this aspect. He set up his Weibo account in 2013 and has since posted 1,800 messages. More than what I did in the last 8 years, actually. He used his Weibo to reach Chinese communities in Canada, actually, during his political campaigns. He also used his Weibo to communicate with Chinese people after he was elected. 47 years ago, when Mr. Pierre-Elliott Trudeau, Prime Minister Trudeau's father, visited China to help establish diplomatic relationship between China and Canada, there were few television sets at the time, and access to information and news was extremely limited. But today, more than 700 million Chinese people are connected on mobile, with real-time access to what's going on around the world. Indeed, technologies have changed the way, have helped transforming our societies and fundamentally changed the way how people communicate with each other and how people in different countries connect to each other. Today we are here to witness the release of logo for the 2018 Canada-China Year of Tourism. Sina is honored to become a strategic partner with Destination Canada. With 370 million monthly active users and more than 3,000 active opinion leaders in a travel segment, Sina Weibo is an ideal platform for promoting Canada to Chinese travelers. Talking about promotion, I can think of no better spokesperson for Canada than Prime Minister himself. With his popularity on Weibo, he can easily reach tens of millions of Chinese consumers if he tries. I understand Prime Minister Trudeau has more than 5.5 million followers on Facebook, so he still has a lot of potential to go on Weibo. One tip I can suggest is for Prime Minister to give out red envelopes on Weibo to Chinese consumers during the Chinese New Year. And I'm sure this will prove to be the most effective way to reach Chinese consumers. With that, please join me to welcome Prime Minister Trudeau to give us a speech.
Thank you for being here today, thanks to all of you for being here today, although I have to admit, yes, we have decent numbers of followers on Weibo, but I'm hoping to increase that significantly today. So any of you who aren't following me, make sure you put down your phones from taking pictures and make sure you're following me on Weibo. I won't talk for too long. I understand that we have some very cool videos to show, and I want you to hear from some of the young people who've had an opportunity to spend some time in Canada. Because Canada, like China, can be a place that's difficult to describe. But if there's one word that sums up Canada, it's probably diversity. Like a diversity of landscapes. We've got world-class cities and incredible national parks. We're surrounded by 3 oceans: mountains, prairies, Arctic tundra, boreal forests, the Great Lakes, great cities. You can see it all in Canada. But one word of caution, you can't see it all in one day. I'm 45 years old and I've lived in Canada my entire life, and I've been fortunate and I've seen more of it than most people have. But there are still so many places across the country that I want to visit and so many people I still want to meet. And that's a really important point. See, as breathtaking as our geography can be, I mean, you can't visit Niagara Falls and not be impressed by the sights and the sounds. It's our people who make Canada great and worth visiting. From the Indigenous peoples who were present long before Europeans arrived, to recent immigrants who've chosen Canada as their home, there is a diversity of cultures, of languages, of personal experiences that is hard to find anywhere else in the world. Now, something else you might have heard about Canadians is that we're polite. I'm happy to tell you that yes, that's true, we are, but there's a little more to it than that. See, if you visit Canada, you'll find that people will go out of their way to make you feel welcome. We don't do it because we're polite. We do it because we're Canadian. That's just who we are. But I don't want you to take my word for it. Instead, I invite you to come visit and experience Canada for yourselves. And there is no better time to do it. Next year, 2018, is the Canada-China Year of Tourism. And to help make it easier to visit Canada, we've opened 7 new visa application centers here across China. And the flow of tourists across the Pacific goes both ways. Chaque année, plus d'un demi-million de touristes chinois visitent le Canada et un nombre semblable de Canadiens viennent ici chaque année. Cela en dit long au sujet de la relation toute particulière qui unit nos pays et aussi nos populations. Every year, more than 500,000 Chinese tourists visit Canada, and similar number of Canadians come here every year. That says a lot about the special relationship, the special friendship between our two countries. Now, I know we have a full program here today, so I'm going to leave my remarks there. But I want to thank you all for joining us today, for supporting this very important initiative, and I hope to see you all in Canada very soon. 谢谢。
正式访华之旅，今天就中加旅游交往，他与中国年轻人展开对话。他表示，随着2018年中加旅游年的来临，期待通过双边交往强化两国关系，为进一步深化贸易及投资合作打下基础。
加拿大总理特鲁多的访华首站就是和4名中国年轻人一起畅谈加拿大旅游。加拿大的大瀑布、森林、美食和友好的人民成为他们谈论的话题。加拿大总理特鲁多表示，欢迎更多中国游客来到加拿大，两国友谊能够进一步升华。
Next year, 2018, is the Canada-China Year of Tourism. And to help make it easier to visit Canada, we've opened 7 new visa application centers here across China. And the flow of tourists across the Pacific goes both ways. Every year, more than 500,000 Chinese tourists visit Canada, and similar number of Canadians come here every year. That says a lot about the special relationship, the special friendship between our two countries.
除到访北京外，特鲁多还将访问广州，出席财富全球论坛。目前，中国是加拿大的第2大贸易伙伴，同时也是规模最大、增长最快的国际留学生来源地。